Today is the beginning of October and we are just starting out to decorate the whole house for the Halloween. But installing these WLED lights is amazing because you can always set the mood to something else, like Christmas for instance, that's coming right up. I'm also using these lights to deter thieves, so that way if something goes wrong, if the alarm has been triggered, the lights will start flashing like crazy as well to let the neighbors know. So let's get started, shall we? First, you're going to need addressable LEDs. This is what I got, and it's powered by 5 volts. Next, you'll need some nodemcu. Well, you only need one. I grab a bunch of them just because they're so useful for a bunch of other projects for home automation, but you only need one for this project. Next, you'll need a power supply to power up the LED strip as well as the nodemcu. You can get this one 5 volt, 6 amp. I already have this from a bunch of other projects already, so I didn't buy this one, but you'll definitely need some sort of power supply. Next, you'll need a diffuser. This is totally optional, but personally, I think it makes the setup much better. The LEDs are not exposed and it doesn't look ghetto at all. And the lights are diffused, so it looks much softer and nicer. On one end of the LED strip, you have these two, white and red. Red is 5 volts going in, white is just ground. Here you have other wires as well. This is white going into your nodemcu or ground. This is green for data going into the D4 pin of the nodemcu. This is 5 volt going into the 5 volt of the nodemcu. To connect everything safely and testing right now, I'm using wiggle nuts. So you can see that this core is being routed to the 5 volt 6 amp power supply. Let's take a closer look at the nodemcu. You'll be connecting the red to VIN, white to ground, and green to D4 over here. This is what it looks like on the other side of the board. You can see green going into D4, white going into ground, and red going into the VIN of the nodemcu. Now that you're done with the wiring, let's proceed to program the nodemcu. By itself, when you just got started, the nodemcu is just blank. There's nothing on it. There's no programs, there's no settings, nothing. To get a program, go to this website, GitHub, go all the way down or somewhere a little bit and download this bin file, WLED 13.3 ESP8266.bin. Once you download it, put it in this folder of the ESP Easy. There's a bunch of flashing tools, but this is the one that I use because it's so, well, easy. Just put the bin file into the same folder. Click on Flash ESP8266.exe. Now is a good time to connect your nodemcu into your computer via the micro USB cable. To find the port of the nodemcu, on Windows 10, hold down the 2 button, Window X, X as in Xena. Go down to Device Manager, open up your ports, and you should see something over here relating to the nodemcu. I don't have mine connected, so that's why you don't see anything related to the nodemcu. So suppose yours is on the COM port 10. In Easy Flasher, choose the COM port 10 and then choose the firmware that you downloaded. I already have it, as you can see, and then click on Flash. When all is said and done, it will say Flash completed or something like that. You can now disconnect your nodemcu from the computer. Connect it back to the configuration I showed you earlier and then power up the power supply. When it's powered up for the first time, you'll see a wireless access point. Connect to it. The default password of the Wi-Fi access point is WLED1234. Yeah, it's that simple. Now that you're connected to the network, it might or might not automatically connect you to a website. If it doesn't, go ahead and open your browser and open it to 4.3.2.1. And then it will say, welcome to WLED. Click on Wi-Fi settings. Give it your Wi-Fi network in your house and the network password of that Wi-Fi in your house. I also gave mine a static IP address because I want absolute control, but you can leave that blank. This is what my settings look like. Don't forget to give it the correct gateway. You can see I messed up here. It's 168 and it should match the same as the IP address. Click on save and then it should reboot. So I'm going to log in to the website of the WLED now that I changed the IP address. Click on Configuration, go into LED Preferences. If for whatever reason not all of your LEDs are lit, go ahead and change the number to something higher. There's a math equation to get the LED numbers correctly, but I'm just going to play it around, trial and error. Mine right now is about 15 feet, so that's why I'm changing the LEDs to be lit to have all of them set up, because right now they're only like 3/4 of the way lit. And every time you change the number of LEDs, be sure to hit the save button and refresh. Next, you can go down to effects and change all of the effects. You can also change the brightness, and if for whatever reason your brightness is not going up and up, then it means that your power supply is not good enough. I should know because the power supply I have on hand is about 4 amp and the brightness does not go up and up at all. It just stays there at medium level. So that's why I'm recommending you to get the 6 amp, because that should be more than good enough. Now let's get this thing into HomeAssistant, my favorite hub. Go to Settings, Integrations, Add Integration, and type in WLED. It automatically does all the configuration for you. You can enter the area that you want, optional by the way. Click on Finish and you're done. Easy as pie. I just can't believe how easy it is. Now that it's in HA, you can change whatever you want, turn it on and off, change the brightness, intensity, even the effects. It's amazing. If you want to know all of the effects of the WLED, just go to this website, take a note of the effect ID number. There's a lot, by the way. Let's go down all the way down to see how many. Okay. 117 effects. Wow, that's incredible. For Halloween, this is the effect I'm using, number 57, lightning. And that's the effect that you saw earlier in the video. Effect number 58 is pretty good. Effect number 114 is pretty good, candy cane for Christmas as well. Alright, so how the heck do we get this into HA? Because I really don't want to turn the lights on and then off every day. That's such a hassle, isn't it? After all, this is what home automation is all about. Let the machine do it for you. So to set up the automation, let's go down into the settings again. Automation. I already have mine set up, so it's going to turn on at sunset. The trigger would be the sunset. There's no condition. The service is light turn on. Choose the entity, which is the WLED. And the effect that I want is number 57. Turning it off is pretty easy as well. I'm going to turn it off every night at 9 p.m. So the trigger is going to be 9 p.m. The action will be light to turn off. The entity will be the WLED. And that's basically it. Click on Save. If you've made it this far, then congratulations, because you've done the hardest part already. Now comes the fun part of actually installing it. The back of the LED strip is pretty sticky, so you can pretty much stick it to almost to any surface that you want. But for me, I want it to look really nice, so that's why I'm using these diffuser. They'll be mounted onto the ceiling. In the kit, you get everything that you need to mount the whole aluminum channel onto the ceiling or the wall. First, you have to screw this onto the ceiling or wall. I'm screwing this straight into my ceiling. All you need is one screw. The channel itself is about 3 feet, so you'll need at least 2 of these brackets to hold it. Once it's screwed in, you can take the aluminum channel and just snap it in. It'll click right in. Here's a close-up of the ceiling that I'm installing in. Once all the aluminum channels are in place, then I peel and stick the LED strip into position. Try your best to align the aluminum channels next to each other. Here you can see some gaps, and it's okay because we're going to fix it with the diffuser. To cut the aluminum channel or the diffuser, I'm using a Dremel, and I'm using this metal blade. The blade itself is really thin, and it will cut right through easily through the diffuser, the plastic diffuser, as well as the metal aluminum channel. The trick to having it look like it's one perfect straight line is have the diffuser in the middle of these two aluminum channel. So don't try to install the diffuser onto the same piece of aluminum channel. Try to install the diffuser in the middle of two aluminum channel. That's the trick to getting it to be perfectly straight. So let me zoom in on a particular joint right here. Here you can see there's the gap of two aluminum channel, and here is the diffuser that's going over straight between those two. From a distance, you wouldn't even notice this gap right here at all because the diffuser covers it up pretty much. That's all there is to it. Hopefully you found this tutorial helpful, useful. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel, and thanks for watching.